Oh my goodness, that's a bluegill.
This week on Kentucky Afield, who doesn't love a mess of bluegill in the summer?
He's a good sized fish.
We're in western Kentucky in search of panfish, including red ear. Want to learn how to fish and then cook what you catch?
Jeez, oh Pete, look like he swallowed a golf ball.
We'll introduce a program that teaches just that.
A little better one.
And find out what the Kentucky Department of Fish and Wildlife is doing to ensure whitetail fawn survival in Clay County. It's all next on Kentucky Afield.
Baby, baby, baby. At the Salado Wildlife Center, we have a few new mouths to feed. Fawn deer, a calf elk, and a baby bison on the way. Along with our trails, raptors, black bear, and more, come see the new additions to our family. But like all babies, they grow up fast. As they're taking their first steps, our first words to you are, "Oh baby, come see us now." The Salado Wildlife Education Center in Frankfort. Come prowl a while.
Yeah, we got one. Sweet.
Got a muskrat?
Yeah.
Good job.
What do you know about that, man? That's a good fish, man.
Nice male smallmouth. Healthy, pretty color.
Cody, here. Find us one more good pheasant, Cody.
As biologists, we catch ducks and we place bands on them.
And it's just a really excellent place to see cottonmouths.
I like it.
What do you think? Like bull.
That was pretty fun.
Hello and welcome to Kentucky Afield. I'm your host, Chad Miles. Join us as we journey the Commonwealth in search of outdoor adventure. It's no secret that Kentucky Lake and Lake Barkley are full of panfish, and there's a good reason why. We make it rough on a man. We call you up and say, hey, we'd like to do red ear fishing. And we give you a date or two and see if you can work with it. You never know what Mother Nature's gonna give you on that date, do you?
Mother Nature gave us a good day to try our skills.
Yeah. Making it tough. We've had a lot of rain. These fish can be hard to target, can't they?
They can. Catch 2 or 3 off of one bed, typically that's go to another place. You know,
Yeah.
they don't seem to bed up in school in big of beds as bluegill.
Well, let's get after it and see if we can't catch some.
Sounds good to me.
A simple little jig head here. This is a 32nd ounce, and it's got what's called a bluegill bug. Increase your chances. You can never go wrong putting a little grub on there. So we're gonna put a little bit of live bait on the end. There you go. You fishing it right on the bottom?
Yeah, creepy crawly.
All right. Just the other day we were red ear fishing, and we float that little bait about just a little bit up off the bottom. They wouldn't touch it. When it hit the bottom of their bed,
right,
nail it.
I'll be darned. It's amazing how particular they can be.
They can, oh yeah, they can. Crazy. Did you get a bite already?
It did not feel like a bluegill. He was mad if he was.
How deep we got here? It's pretty shallow, isn't
Yeah, it is. 2.5, 3 feet, I think.
Okay. Oh, here we go. What do we got here? We got a double. Bluegill.
You got the boy and the girl.
Pretty fish. Pound for pound, still about the best fighting fish you can catch right there.
They are. Good on the table, too.
Yep.
I'll clean him if you want him.
That one there big enough?
Yeah.
We'll keep a couple of them if you don't mind.
Throw him right in there.
All right. And that one there, that fish there was nice enough to leave my grub on there.
You know, I like worms out of.
This is a little better one here.
Get the net. Get the net.
I don't know if this 4 pound test the holding. That's a good
nice
bluegill.
gill.
That's a really nice bluegill.
I was paying attention that time where you
When I
put your
cast
bait at, so
Yep.
I'm gonna go in there too.
Get the big one. You can tell they're about to spawn. Look at him.
Yep.
Look at
You're
that.
supposed to aim those toward your buddy. I'm not your buddy. I'm your friend, not your buddy.
They're ready. That's when you know they are ready. What do you got there?
I like to eat fish too.
There you go. That thing is running.
I'm not sure what we've got here.
Thing is running up the bank, whatever it is. Oh my goodness, that's a bluegill. It don't take many of that size to have a fish fry, does it?
It does not. Well, it depends on how well you like to eat fish.
You can hold the potatoes if you get enough of those.
No matter how many times we do this, it's still fun to get a bite and catch a fish.
It's always fun. You know, what's really cool too is matching your tackle for the size of fish you're catching. I mean, you can go out and catch 50-pound catfish with a big, massive rod and reel and a winch to bring them in. And yeah, that's a ton of fun. It's a lot of fun. But you know what? You can come out here and match your rod and reel to what you're catching. Look how that thing's bending, that little rod and reel you've got. Oh, here we go. Look at this. Hey, we've got a red ear. Wow, look how much bigger they look. Here we go. Now, that is a good sized fish.
That is.
These fish have really not been prevalent in these lakes for a long, long time, have they?
No, they haven't. In 1986, how I can remember that, I don't know, but using a cast net and caught a small red ear. So from then on, it's just progressively got better.
But what year did you start targeting and catching these routinely?
The early 90s, it's 93, 94, I think, is the first time that I caught one big enough to tell that I had something different than a bluegill.
Yeah, and then from there, people really started targeting throughout the 2000s.
Right.
And I mean, they were taking these fish out of here in the carloads.
Yes.
And several years back, we put a limit on how many you can keep of the red ear.
Right.
What is the limit now here on Kentucky and Barkley?
20 fish.
Man, you won't find anything better than a skillet than that right there, will you?
No.
It's a great fish. What do you got there?
I don't know, but it feels pretty nice, actually.
Big old bluegill. Now that's a good size. That's a good size bluegill right there. You start looking at the difference in color and the size. That's a good size one. These get quite a bit bigger than this, but that's a pretty good one.
They do. Mighty fine eating, that's for sure.
Absolutely. Didn't get any better.
My arms is tired catching bluegill.
I tell you what, how many you really think we've caught today?
I'd be scared to say, actually.
Well over 100.
Hold it. Don't look. I think.
Uh-oh. Look what you've got. You got another red ear. Hey,
I do.
So probably 140 or 50 fish, and now this is only our third one. And we've caught them all exactly where we were catching the bluegill.
Right.
That's what makes targeting them kind of hard. You just got to cull through a bunch of bluegill to get there. Look at there. Pretty good, pretty fish, isn't it?
It is.
So worms, jigs. What else can you catch these on? Popeyes?
Just any kind of jig, really. You know, hard to beat a worm and bobber. You know.
Yep. Nice fish.
Should we throw him back?
Nah. Too good. They taste too good. What's your favorite way to eat those? Deep fried?
Yeah, it's hard to beat deep fried. I mean, seared in a skillet with olive oil and a little salt and pepper.
Yeah, they're hard to beat.
Golden brown.
One of the questions I get asked the most is, how do I learn more about fishing? Well, it just so happens the Department of Fish and Wildlife has a program just for you. Let's float down the Licking River with Aquatics Educator Easton Copley and hear more about it. Easton, you like to fish, don't you?
I love it. Every chance I get.
You've got the perfect job for a person who just likes all kinds of fishing.
That's correct.
Your title is Program Coordinator for Aquatics Education.
Yes, sir.
Really, that means teaching people how to fish,
Yep.
right?
Taking people fishing, and we try to get you the basics and then kind of push you in whatever direction you're really interested in.
Now, this program is really set up, and you guys do something with kids, but it's really set up for adults.
Right.
For an adult who, for whatever reason, never got interested in fishing, that one day said, you know what? That's something I've always wanted to try, but I don't know where to start.
Right. Great program for women. We have a lot of moms that come through the program. Maybe dad's not in the picture, and they want to be able to take their kid out and show them the outdoors as well.
Well, let's go hook a couple fish. You can teach me a few things. This is your home water.
Yeah, we're not far from home.
I know that you know how to catch fish here on this body of water. So let's go give it a try and see what we catch. You never know. It could go from sunfish to muskie.
It could be anything. That's what makes it exciting.
So what we got here? We got a split in the river?
I think so. There we go.
What you got there?
Looks just about like the one you
got
caught.
Another rock bass.
Yep. Good old red eye. Over there hanging out in the shade.
Tell you what, those things fight pretty good, don't they?
They do for their size.
There you go.
Uh-oh.
That's a largemouth.
Wow.
You've changed species on me.
Changing species. No, that's a largemouth.
I thought I saw a vertical line on it.
Oh yeah, that side got a line. That side didn't hardly have one.
Here we go. Got a jumper. Got another rock bass.
That's what it looked like.
Yep.
Yep. A jumping one.
I'll tell you what, these little fish are pretty accurate when they go to bite something. You know, a lot of times you'll get a largemouth that'll be hooked on the outside of the mouth. Oh, but these little jokers, they get after it. Look at the belly on that thing.
Jeez, old Pete. Looked like he swallowed a golf ball.
It's a chubby, healthy little joker. There you go. One right to the next.
You're making me want to tie on one of those.
Yeah, I'll take one real big one over a bunch of these little ones.
There's something.
Uh-oh.
Maybe I'll keep this bigger one.
Yeah, I think if I was you, I'd just keep that. Another largemouth.
A little better one. Now you get into a mess of these floating, it's hard to beat.
That's a good fish.
Pretty fat.
You got a feeding frenzy in this little spot here.
Yep, and I'm fine with it, because I'm here to catch them. I'll feed them all day long.
What you got there?
Oh, well, a little better than what those rock bass.
Yeah, there you go.
It's a little better.
Now you got a smallie. I'm sitting here looking, I only have my polarized lenses on, and I was sitting there looking and I got a bite. And I mean, there are hundreds of little bait fish about that long sitting under this tree. There's also a pretty good amount of current, so I was hoping for something a little bigger than this guy, but these are the tight spots. I'm standing in 8 inches of water, but right here is a little spot where it gets deeper. These little spots right underneath these trees or rocks, these spots can sometimes hold pretty good fish. So you see, we're talking about people getting into fishing for a whole vast number of reasons. You actually have 3 different programs that you work with to address that, right?
The first one is Angler's Legacy, which is basically just, it's a fishing 101 class, and we cover just the basics.
So I mean, this is what type of rod you're going to start with and how to tie a knot and how to identify certain species and how many can you keep and that type of thing.
Right, different types of bobbers, why they make so many different kinds of line. Just all the basic stuff so when you go into Walmart, you're not overwhelmed. And you can go out to a farm pond or local Finns Lake and feel halfway confident that you'll be able to catch a few fish. And those classes typically are about an hour and a half long. It's kind of a classroom setting. And then after the class is over, we try to go to a Finns Lake or a local lake and actually fish for a few hours. Our second program is Hook and Cook. and that's a very interesting program. The Angler's Legacy is the first part of the class. After that, we go over how to clean fish, and we'll actually have some fish on site there for you if you're interested. We cook some fish, and we show you, what we did to prep it, different recipes you can do with it. We have fried fish there for lunch. So not only are you getting to learn how to catch them and see how to clean them, but you're actually getting to eat them. After we get done eating, we'll actually fish for a few hours, and that gives you a chance to do the full circle yourself. So you'll actually be able to hook the fish, clean it, and eat it all within 30 minutes.
Sounds like a good lunch.
Yeah, that's my favorite event to work. And the third class is Teacher's Tackle Box. And that's actually a new class, just started last year. And that's the Angler's Legacy class that we basically created for educators. So somebody that teaches in school or that works at a state park wants to teach fishing to others. And we're pretty confident that we can take somebody that's never seen a pole, put them through this program, and by the end of the class, they're comfortable not only fishing themselves, but also to take kids out and show them fishing as well.
Now let's check in and see who's catching what and where in this week's fishing report.
Hi, this is John Williams with the Fishery Report for Southeast Kentucky. As the summer gets heated up, the best place to be in our area is the Cumberland tailwaters. You got that cold water coming out of Lake Cumberland. Trout fishing has been great. A lot of catches of rainbows and brooks, especially close to the dam when the water's off. Spinners, small cranks. Elsewhere, if you want to fish the lake, Lake Cumberland is good during the middle of the summer for channel catfish. They get out there 25, 30 feet deep on those main lake flats. It'd be excellent fishing for channel catfish. Also may pick up a walleye or two, trolling night crawlers on bottom mouchers. And I'd like to mention this is going to be my last report. I'm retiring as of August 1st. I've really enjoyed my career in giving these reports, and hopefully in the next few months I'll be joining you and fishing in area lakes. As always, good luck, good fishing.
This is Rob Roll, the Northwestern Fishery District. Our two main reservoirs, Rough River Lake and Old Lynn River Lake. With these higher temperatures, fish have moved into their deeper, cooler water. Bass fishing at both reservoirs has been fair. Most fish are caught in around the 15-foot depth range at No Lynn, and the oxygen goes out at Rough River Lake a little shallower, so most fish are in the 12 to 14-foot depth range at Rough River Lake. And don't forget our Finns Lakes. That's Yellow Creek Park, Panther Creek Park, and Wayman Morris Park in Owensboro, as well as Madisonville City Park in Madisonville and Bevel Park in Litchfield. All those lakes are routinely stocked with channel catfish. Anglers are doing well catching them. That's an update from the Northwestern Fishery District. Please remember, be safe on the water. Always wear your life jackets.
In western Kentucky, at Kentucky and Barkley Lakes, we've kind of started getting into that summertime fishing pattern. TVA and the Corps have started their slow summer draw down the lakes. That means there's going to be a little more current, which puts a few more fish out on the ledges. Bass, white bass, blue catfish. Early in the morning, late in the evening, good time to go out on the ledges, fishing for bass with creature baits, fishing for catfish with night crawlers, or fishing for white bass with inline spinners and spoons. Up in the abatements, there's a lot of shad minnows, and so that in the evening, the largemouth bass will be back there busting those schools of shad minnow up, and so you're going to catch a lot of small fish, but a lot of fun fishing with crankbaits, spinner baits. Well, this is Paul Reister, and I hope you find a good day to go fishing.
Wildlife biologists here in the state of Kentucky have been doing a deer survival study for some time. Let's go to Clay County, Kentucky, find out more. You're looking for where the device was dropped, correct? And it does not stay attached to the fawns. It remains in the birth site, correct?
Yep.
And what do you call the device?
Vaginal implant transmitter.
VIT, vaginal implant transmitter, okay. That's really interesting. So that piece was inserted how long ago?
About 4.5 months ago.
At any point in time when a fawn comes out, this piece automatically comes out with it?
Yeah, it will be pushed out. This is a pretty typical birth site in a field. What they'll do, they kind of mash this area out, and actually after she gives birth, she'll eat all of the afterbirth that's in the area.
Well, that's really interesting. Like I said, it's not exactly what I was expecting for a place that one or maybe even two fawns were just born here within a couple hours ago. So we'll take this with us then?
Yes, we will take this with us. We'll take a GPS point and we'll start looking for these fawns. Now, usually when they've been born, I guess just recently, they won't be more than 30 meters typically from the birth site, especially in something that's kind of thick like this, because they're kind of wobbly and hard for them to move around.
So we need to kind of spread out a little bit and be very cautious and just look. I mean, they can really hide well.
Oh yeah. So we'll kind of spread out. The last time that Casey listened to the female, she was in this direction. Generally, it's nice to start searching in the direction of the mother. So I think we'll start walking this way and spread out, and hopefully we'll find them. Right here.
You got one right here?
Yep, here's one right here. So see how it's just laying still, it's not moving. I mean, you could walk right past this and never even know it was there. We're gonna capture this fawn. You and I will take it away from this area, so we try not to influence, exactly where it's hiding as much as we can, while these other guys are searching for the other fawn. You see these newborns, even when you're touching them, most of the time they don't even move. That's how ingrained those behaviors are in their body. Make sure you guys get a GPS point of this. So we'll take it over here, kind of away from everything else. When do y'all mark that spot?
Let me ask you, so are those gloves to try to keep your scent off the fawn? Is that the whole idea?
Yeah, the whole idea of this is we're trying to be as scent-free as possible, or leave as little scent as possible. Nice.
Well, look at there.
We found a second one. Once you guys start, we'll put the bag in the middle, and you guys start working that one up over there. The first thing I always like to do is go ahead and put a collar on it. And this is that expandable neonate collar that we showed you. It's got all this stitching in the rubber bands, so as this animal grows, this collar grows with it until about 9 months, and then it'll drop off. So the animal won't be choked or anything the whole time.
So what do you hope to see now through this data?
We'll continue to monitor this animal and all the other ones that we've caught this summer 3 times a day until they reach about 8 weeks old, at which time they're weaned and are kind of capable of living on their own. The ear tag is 196.
Yep.
All right, we'll sex it. And it looks like we've got a female.
So a little female.
Outright female, yep. And then we'll continue to monitor them until their collars fall off or through the start of the hunting season. What we get from this is kind of an estimate of first how many are living to different time periods, and then we get an estimate of recruitment, so how many animals are being added to the population each year. And we'll also have an understanding of how many animals are dying and at the rates they're dying and from what cause. So how many die from coyotes or hay cutters. 28 1/4. Now just pick her up and just kind of keep her held away from your body, and we're gonna set her into this bag.
Look at those long legs, built to run.
All
jump,
legs. Huh? And you just hook her up and tell me how much she weighs.
The end game is hopefully we can make more opportunities for the animals and more opportunities for Kentucky sportsmen by making sure that they have the best chance for survival.
Yep, that's the whole aspect, or the whole idea behind this project, is we want to know what's going on down here so we can better manage these populations for the benefit of the sportsmen and women of Kentucky.
7.91 pounds. Well, I really appreciate you letting me go out and experience this with you today. It's the first time I've ever had a fawn in my hands. I've seen a bunch of them before. And that reminds me, we want everyone to know, please do not pick up the fawns, and don't worry about those fawns that you see. They're not abandoned. Mother's just keeping her safe distance.
Correct. Yep.
Is it right here?
I believe that's it.
Right here?
Yep. Just lay him down, lay her down, and pull her blindfold off. We'll keep checking on her for the next few months and see what happens.
Good luck, little girl. I hope you grow up to be a big mama someday. Now let's see who else is out there having fun as we check out this week's ones that didn't get away. E.J. Lawson of Florence, Kentucky caught this nice largemouth bass in Union. Caught this while fishing with his Uncle Mike. Congratulations. Here we have David Hunt of Scottsburg, Indiana holding a nice tom turkey with an 11-inch beard. Nice turkey. Now here's a great picture. Here's 78-year-old Ted Brown who shot this deer here with this bow and arrow that was actually made by his son Kevin. Congratulations. Here's 14-year-old Dylan Hoskins with a nice 9-point buck taken in Spencer County. It's his very first deer. Congratulations. And here's Dylan's father, Kevin Hoskins, who also took his very first deer ever, a nice 7-point buck in Spencer County. Nice job. Here's a nice spring turkey taken by Rick Followell on the family farm. Had a 10-inch beard. Nice job. Are you looking for a way to beat this summer heat? Go find your local stream and go kayak fishing. It's the best way I know how. And remember, hunting and fishing on private property is a privilege. Always ask permission and thank the landowner. Until next week, I'm your host, Chad Miles, and I hope to see you in the woods or on the water.